All right, hello and welcome everyone to the first call of the Fast Track Your Business with me, Smriti Goswami. And I am a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. I'm also a Right Voice for You facilitator, a Joy of Business facilitator, and of course a Being You facilitator, and also a Talk to the Entity facilitator. And I also facilitate the Talk to the Entity intermediate classes. Um, with all this, the reason I facilitate these classes because each of these classes have created such dynamic changes for me personally in my life, and I just wanted to share it with all of you. Now, I've been part of Access Consciousness since the past 10 years and have attended a whole lot of classes and workshops, and every class has contributed so dynamically. So, few years ago, I think immediately after COVID, I connected with them and I just said, there's a lot that I have to offer, especially with regards to business. And so I had to take permission from Access because before starting any mentorship program, you need to take permission. So there was a lot of back and forth. They changed a few things around and stuff, and then eventually we created this. So this particular Fast Track Your Business is approved by Access, and we'll be using a lot of Access consciousness tools to change things that are not working for you, to especially the tools which are really dynamic and they really work very dynamically. So today, so the format of this particular Fast Track Your Business would be where we will be so it's for a period of 6 months. And we'll be talking a lot of things, which I'm not going to go into right now. If you need more information about the topics that we'll be covering and all the things, you can go to smritigoswami.com, and the first page that you open, it has all the details. And right at the end is the different methods of payment that you can choose for yourself. There's a certain amount, but which you can pay in 6 monthly installments. Each month you can pay that, and in case you're looking at paying for it in 2 installments, there is a separate pricing which you get around 10,000 rupees less. And in case you're looking at making an upfront payment, the payment is you get a 20% 20,000 rupees discount. So you can have a look at it and see what works for you. That is in case you're interested. But coming back to what all we'll be covering, the format of this particular mentorship would be where it's like the first Monday of every month would be where I will be giving you a lot of information about certain topics, and like a masterclass where there'll be a lot of information and things given to you. The second week, the second Monday would be where it'll be more interactive, where we'll be looking at where are you stuck and how much of those tools have you implemented, and what are the difficulties you're facing, and what is it that that's still keeping you stuck. We'll obviously, before we get started with this, we'll also be sending you a mail as to what exactly you're looking to receive from this particular mentorship. What are your challenges? What are the things that you're looking at creating? What kind of a growth that you're looking at achieving with this mentorship in your business, and so on. And based on that, we'll be creating these programs. It will be to a large extent tailor-made for each one of you. The third week would be a lot of energy pulls and connecting with your business, asking questions, and being really present with your business. And the fourth week of every month would be where there'll be a more of a personal one-on-one facilitation by me. So
Smriti, your screen is freeze.
Yeah. Hi, Smriti.
Yeah. Some connectivity issue might be there. Yeah, she's here. Yes. You're on mute, Smriti.
Please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was not on mute all this while, right? You could hear me.
No, we couldn't hear
I'm
you.
back. I was on mute. All right. Okay, good. So as I was mentioning, this will be live streamed. The personal one-on-one session would be live streamed. So if I'm facilitating one particular person, all of you get to watch that live stream on the Facebook account, and you can maybe message whatever or write under that whatever questions you have. But that I will be focusing entirely on the person that I'm facilitating at that particular moment. And it's beautiful the way things show up when you're facilitating one person, everybody else also gets facilitated. Sometimes people don't even know that these are the things that are triggering them also, or that these are the energies that they were stuck with. And when you're facilitating, when you're observing that facilitation, there's so much that starts changing for you too. So it'll be like that. And a proper format of these 4 weeks, it'll be typically like that. And of course, throughout the week, there'll be home plays and things. And so the Facebook also group will be very, very interactive. Of course, we'll also have a WhatsApp group. And so these 6 months, I'm there with you all the time. Definitely for those calls, but any other time that you're stuck, all you have to do is just ask question in the group. The reason I'm asking you to ask question in the group, because then it facilitates everybody else also who is part of that program. And and then each one of us has each other's back. So that's a very nice synergy that gets created. And it's like a group of people who are really looking at exponentializing their life and their business and their reality. And they're really looking at creating that change. So if you're looking to leap, like really leap, no procrastinating. If you're really looking to leap, I would really love to invite you guys to this program. It's something I'm really passionate about, and it's something that I really, really look forward to. Just every Monday morning interacting with you guys. So before you even start your week, you're just charged up for that entire week, because whatever's going on with you guys, we sort all of that. And, it's like there's no letting go, especially, if you're one of those people who goes to the gym and who needs to be motivated and pushed and, told like, now this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, like get moving. And you feel like, oh my God, like, now I have to get up and do all these crunches and this and that, and there is that gym instructor telling you. It'll be something like that, where sometimes you need that push. And especially when there was this conversation about procrastination, which came up in the previous call, sometimes we procrastinate because we just don't have a direction to go to. We're just not sure what to do. So that's where I come in, where we'll be asking a lot of questions. What is it that's keeping you stuck? And sometimes when you're asking questions, there's a whole lot of awarenesses that show up, and you're like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize that I was stuck with this particular energy, and this is what needs to change. So it'll be more like that. So if you need to know what other topics we'll be discussing, I won't go into it right now here, but just feel free to go through, check the website. It's smritigoswami.com. They've covered up all the topics that we'll be covering up there. And so this is what it'll be like. Okay, now let's get on with the call. So does anyone have any questions before we get on with the call? Anything anyone would like to know? No? Okay, cool. So now what happens is, it's like, just one minute. So what happens is, it's like, we all have our energies. Like there is, when things are showing up in our lives, most of the time, it is literally 80% of what's going on in our life is being created, is our mindset choices. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So what was I saying? So whatever's showing up in our lives, 90% of the time, like 20% is strategy and 80% is your mindset. Okay, that is the energy that you're being. Now, what happens when you're being that energy, or when you're following a particular energy? It's like you can work on, most of the people, when they're creating a business, they start looking and focusing on the strategy. And that 20% strategy is what they're working on constantly. But what happens is, if your mindset is not set to receiving, to choosing more, to choosing far greater for yourself, or somewhere if you've decided you don't deserve it, or you're not doing enough, or whatever it is, there are different ways, different things that show up, then that's the mindset that will get created, and things, you will wonder, why are people coming and interacting with you and asking you about things, but going to somebody else and choosing classes or business with somebody else. And so that's because somewhere you're not willing to receive. So let me give you an example. Like a few years ago, one lady connected with me, like, okay, based on the talk that I'd given, okay? And so she just said, okay, I'd love to talk to you about possible coaching. I'm just giving you an example, okay? This didn't happen with me, but I'm just giving you an example. So what happens is, when that lady spoke on the phone and everything, they realized that, okay, cool, this is the obviously this particular program and this particular coaching, or I'm the right person to help her. Okay, and clearly she needed this mindset coaching, and this is my area of expertise, and so on. So okay, so she shared whatever problems, financial problems that she was having during that call. And as I listened to her, the thoughts basically started rushing was, that, oh dear, she won't be able to afford this. And so before she could even ask about the fees, I'd already discounted it, okay? By more than 50% in my head. So basically, the thought is, why would you do that? When you're interacting with certain people and when they're giving you a lot of they're talking to you and sharing with you their money problems and stuff, the first thing you do is, oh my God, they won't be able to share. They may not be able to afford my class or my program or my whatever products that I have. So let me just offer a discounted program, because at least I'll have certain people or one or two people being part of it, instead of, because someday you have that need for needing a client. So the moment you're discounting yourself, that's the energy you're being, and that's not a fun energy for any client, okay? So the moment this person discounted that normal coaching fees, what happened was that person, it was like that person wasn't excited about that generous, affordable coaching offer. And she just said, okay, I'll think about it. Those were her exact words. And several weeks later, she just emailed and said, okay, I have decided not to go ahead with it this time, which was really interesting, right? And then about a year later, she approached me again. Now, what happened then? It's like this time the coaching program that was sort of proposed to her was at least 8 times the fee that this person had quoted earlier, right? What happened with that? Immediately she signed up, okay? And why was this? When you're really looking for answers and you're wondering, why would a person sign up for the same package, same thing, everything same, but 8 times the price? What happened? And that lady just pulled out the credit card and paid in full, okay? Now, the reason is, what changed? What changed was that you as a coach have changed your mindset. You've worked on yourself, you've healed yourself, you have changed as a person. You're no longer the same person who's going to discount yourself just to make others feel welcome and create for them, or you're not going to lose yourself anymore, or you're not willing to make yourself lesser just so that you can maybe gain some clients. There's no space of needy energy. And there is that space of, I'm really choosing greater, come join. So that's the energy. Your mindset has shifted and changed, and that's what enabled other clients to start choosing you. So that's what it is. It's like your energy needs to change. So if you think people are not showing up for your business and they're not choosing you, it's because somewhere you need to change your mindset and a lot needs to change, okay? When the person was approached earlier, it was more from a space of that particular coach was functioning more from a space of scarcity and was trying to rebuild a one successful business, okay? But the thing is, later on, the mindset of that whole coach had shifted and they were able to receive more clients and receive so much more. They were more confident in their space, and that whole energy of scarcity had shifted, or that needy energy had shifted, and more a space of, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm like totally healed. I really am looking at creating so much more, and that's what started showing up, right? So that's the energy. What you're being is what invites people to you, right? The moment you start discounting yourself, the moment you start making yourself less, the moment you start sidelining yourself, that's what will push people away. Okay, so just like sometimes it's like you have conversations with your clients and then you like keep hoping and praying that they will choose you. All that will shift and change. Okay, so everything that brought up, let's destroy and uncreate that. Please write from Good Bad Pot Talk, all 100 shorts, voice, poets, spaces, creations, and beyonds. Now, when you compare that energy to having a totally rock solid confidence in your work and with the level of fees that you're charging and the kind of and the potential of your clients, that is infectious, and that's what starts attracting more clients to you. Okay, now you can tell them what they need to hear, okay? But it's not your words that matter, it's the energy that you're being is what is attracting them to you, okay? So we'll be making a lot of we'll be having a lot of conversations on energy and how you can actually start using the energy to create and implement the level of changes that you're looking at, okay? Because the energy is the underlying it's energy is underlying everything that you say or do in your business. And that energy is what your clients pick up. And that's the energy to which they respond. And not just your clients, but so many other people also. And you know how certain people just have that ease of getting things done, and then certain people struggle with a lot with that same thing. It's just because of the difference in energy levels, okay? And so all of this is created mostly subconsciously. So we don't even realize we're doing that. Okay, now, so your personal energy is literally the key for you to grow your business exponentially. Now, what exactly is personal energy? So the personal energy is literally the field that is surrounding your body. Okay, so it's like an invisible shield, or what you call your aura or an energy body. Okay, it's like an invisible shield of yours that introduces you even before you speak, and that's what it is. What quietly communicates to your potential clients on your behalf and gives them the feeling, yes, I have to work with this person, and no matter what, and or it makes them hesitate. So that's what it is. So it is what gives people the first gut impression of you, your personal energy, okay? Especially when you walk into the room, it is what will project into the web of energy that connects you with everything, including your business, including those clients, including sort of attracting those dream clients to you, or in droves, or maybe just repelling them. So it's the energy that you're being, which is paramount. Okay, to create anything that you're looking to create. Now, literally your personal energy communicates with the hearts and minds of your clients, okay? Now, there are these 5 key elements that are influencing your energy. One is thoughts, okay? Thoughts means it includes your words, which are literally the amplified energies of your thoughts, your belief system, the thoughts that you assume to be the truth. Whatever your way of thinking is, that is the first element that is influencing your energy, okay? The second one is your emotions. So the way you feel moment to moment, but also it's not just that, it also takes care of, or sort of people can have that awareness of all your stored unresolved emotions also. They also, when you're speaking, they also are able to access that. Okay, so emotions that are not resolved or were released, and not released and are just stored in your body, that's also something that you're projecting onto your clients. So you have to be very aware of that. And of course, constant healing is the way forward anyways, okay? Then what else? The third element is values. What is important to you? How do you distinguish between right and wrong every day? What are the ethics? What are the things that you value? What do you value? Like, do you have empathy? Do you value integrity? What are the things? What makes you tick, basically? Okay. The fourth element is awareness. Like, what are you aware of right now? The focus and your viewpoint, and uh, how you tap into what's going on with the clients, how you're able to, figure out what exactly is required. Sometimes when you're interacting with certain clients, when you're very present with them, and yeah, definitely your level of awareness and presence with that particular client, because then you're able to tap into things that they're not even saying, and you're able to figure out, okay, cool, this is what's going on with them. Especially when you are working with energy, you can also read energy, and you can perceive what's going on with people. And when you start tapping into that, that's also something that will really contribute to your client and creating a greater business for them. The fifth one element is the actions, like what you do and what you don't do, because inaction is also a form of action. So these five elements sort of interact with each other, and they sort of balance and influence each other, and you're like tweaking, changing your energy field, and so on. Okay, so this is what it is. And what else? So it's like how, when you're looking maybe for, you might be focused on growing your business, okay, and looking for answers. So you'll be like, okay, maybe asking a question, how can I book more high-end clients? Okay, and then you'll come across an Instagram course, or maybe the creator of that particular business grew her business from 0 to millions in revenue and fast. And so you're like, oh yeah, that's my answer. Like, you'll tell yourself, and you'll dive into the course and find strategies that you were not familiar with before. So your belief system will shift that moment from, I don't know how to do this, to I can totally do this. I have found my missing link, and I have it all. Okay. So when you start applying that knowledge or that learning that course suggests, but when you realize that what you're offering is very generic, and it does not really sort of address the specific needs of your clients, so that's when you'll realize that, and then you start doubting yourself, and you're like, okay, maybe I'm not good as other people and who are offering similar services. And so then that's the energy that you bring, whether you like it or not, you'll bring that energy into your marketing and sales process, and that's how I'm going to create much. So what are you aware of as a person? What is the energy you're perceiving? That shows up only when you're asking a lot of questions, when you are very, very present with your clients, and that's when things start shifting and changing. Okay, so basically you might have learned certain things, but you need to not showcase that in a generic form. You need to tweak it a bit for it to suit you and your clients. So that is something that you can do, right? So you just need to tweak that offering a bit. Okay. So now what else? So when you're looking at, okay, things that are keeping you stuck, things that are not working, ask, okay, what do I need to change about myself to grow my business? Okay. So when you're asking these questions, and you can apply this energy on any subject that you can think of, like maybe for kids or fashion or parenting or your business or fitness or romantic relationship, anything, right? When you basically, naturally, we are sort of applying our energies differently to different subjects, okay? So there are these 5 key areas in which you can also apply your energy. So literally everything that happens in your business, the number of clients, the quality and of your sales conversations, the sale revenues that you're used to, and the rate that at which your business is growing is literally a direct reflection of applying energy within these particular 5 key areas. So the first key area is you and the structure of your reality. So what exactly is the structure of your reality? Structure of your reality is what you believe and what you know about yourself, literally as the creator of your reality, okay? It's about how you feel about your ability to succeed and create anything you want, how you value yourself, and whether you operate from a place of personal power or the lack of it. When you start tapping into that, so when I'm asking you these, when I'm telling you these things, ask, okay, which part of these which part of this applies to me? How am I showcasing myself? So what do I believe and know as the creator of my reality? What reality am I creating for myself? Is this fun energy for me or not? So how much do I value myself, and am I functioning or operating from a place of power or the lack of it? And if yes, if I'm functioning from the space of lack of power, what needs to change? So all those things. So we'll be talking about a whole lot of these things in the subsequent calls and things, okay? Now, that is the first element. The second is your clients and other people. So what you project onto your potential and existing clients. Are they the people who respect you and love to listen to you or would love to invest in you? Or do they pay you by just pressing the, like button on your social media and that's all that is there, and they're not really interested in implementing anything else? So these are the things that, you have to sort of tap into and figure out, okay, what exactly is going on? So So people respond, like most of the time you'll realize people don't respond independently of themselves. They respond to our belief systems about them and our actions based on those beliefs. Like, let's take, for example, if you are having a sort of argument with somebody. Let's take, for example, you're having an argument with your boss and or maybe an employee. Okay, now that person is shouting. Let's take, for example, your boss is shouting at you. Now you don't know how to deal with it because here's this person who's shouting at you, and you should have done things the certain way, and somehow you missed doing it the way that was told to you, and now you're doing it in a totally different way. What happens then is your boss is actually, when he's being that weird, aggressive, mean energy, he or she is actually responding to the judgment that you have about them. So in your daily interactions, when people are talking to you or communicating with you, they are responding to the judgment that they think you have about them. And they're literally responding to that. So the moment you let go of your judgments about them, you lower your barriers, expand your being, and start pulling energy from there. And you let go of all your judgments about that boss. And no matter how mean and nasty he's being, the moment you let go of those judgments, you'll realize within less than 5 minutes, he would be a totally changed person because he just does not have anything to respond to, right? There is no judgment in your space. So he does not have anything to respond to, and then there is nothing more left for him to say. So he will just not, like, he will just say, hey, I know how passionate you are about this, and I know how hard you've been putting in a lot of efforts. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound like this, but this is really, really important. And is there let me know how soon you can finish this, and if you can just implement the changes that I've asked you. So the language and the way of communicating with you will totally change, because now the boss cannot perceive any judgment that you have about them. So when you are dealing with your clients, they're literally responding to your energy, right? To your beliefs about them. Okay, and it's also important that we apply in our energy in relationship beyond our potential existing clients, like with our family members, with romantic relationships, and wherever, right? Now, what else? So let's say, for example, like if somebody allows themselves to be treated with disrespect by the children or spouse, then they will keep on attracting clients who will also treat them like that. Okay. And then you wonder, why are my clients just taking me for granted and not really honoring my time and my space? Because somewhere our business is the mirror to how we live our lives, and it's a mirror of who we are. Okay. Now, when it comes to sales, what you believe and know about selling, how you rank uh, sales and rank selling in order of importance, and how you think about it and how you go about it is what will start reflecting with the kind of clients that you're inviting. Say, for example, if you have a point of view about spamming people or engaging too much with them or imposing yourself in whichever, suppose there's a get together and then you just land up there and start interacting with them. So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to impose on certain people, let me not disturb them. But then where are you not willing to see yourself as somebody who as a contribution to them? Sometimes you feel, oh, if I reach out to them, that means I'm going to be disturbing them, and that's not going to be fun energy. So things like that. What I'm doing today is just giving you a gist of the way things that we'll be covering and how these little stuff about energy that there, that the mindset that we have that is stopping. But we will be diving deeper into all of this, and this is just the beginning. This is just 1% of what we'll be exploring in this whole 6-month journey, because these calls are every week. So they are like very extensive and they'll be very, very detailed. Okay. Now, also like it's about marketing. So marketing is like, what are your values? What is the hierarchy of values that you have? And what are your points of view about marketing and how it needs to show up? And do you need to market the way others are doing, or what other different nuances that you can add to your space of marketing? What is that going to create? So these are the things that you can actually start tapping into. Okay. And then money. Money is like, how do you relate to money and how much money do you allow or not allow to enter your experience through your belief systems and emotions and values and actions. So making more money is not about doing more, it's about allowing more. So what's the difference between Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson and Elon Musk? What's the difference? Like, how are they creating such huge amounts of money? And why is everybody else not creating that kind of money? What's the difference? The difference is they're willing to have it. And the difference is they just don't have any points of view about why the money shouldn't show up for them. Right? They just are like, I'm choosing this and I will raise the money, and it's just the mindset again. Okay. Somewhere they feel that they deserve it and they will create it and they will actualize it, and they are committed to creating it, and they are, most importantly, they're willing to have it. Okay. A lot of us are very uncomfortable having money, and because we don't know what to do. Most of us tend to just sort of spend money the moment we get it, because, like, let's just get rid of it in whichever way. We are doing it subconsciously, again, based on our own, the way we are treating ourselves, the way we are being with ourselves. So there are a whole lot of things that, the way our mindset works, that actually limits all that we can be creating in our business. And then we wonder, why are things not showing up? I've also done the same classes. I'm also designing similar products. Why is one person creating so much money, and why am I not creating that kind of money? It's just literally these little things with these mindset changes. The moment you start valuing yourself, the moment you start receiving yourself, is when things start shifting and changing. And most of us don't even know what's wrong with us, right? We don't really think that, oh, I had all these issues. But during the course of the whole mentorship, it's going to be very like, I mean, you tend to start tapping into what the person is stuck with, what's going on, what exactly is going on. So when you start tapping into that, and when you start asking questions, and one question leads to more questions, and then that's the way things start shifting and changing. And then you realize like, oh my God, there are so many things that I'm stuck with. And I never realized that my relationship issue with so and so, maybe my mother or my father or my sibling, is what is actually reflecting in my business and creating issues here. So you will not even look at interconnecting both of these things, but you'll realize over a period of time how interconnected all of this is, because somewhere it is depleting you of all energy, so you're not able to focus more on your business, or whatever way it will show up. So there are these things that show up. Does anyone have any questions? Like, I mean, I can just keep talking about a whole lot of things. Any one of you have any questions? Yeah, Usha, go ahead.
Yeah, you said about the judgment that we have on us, and it's projected by other people, and other people will reply to us in a different way. So
Yeah.
to avoid that judgment in within us, what what what
You have to
really?
let go. So you have to let go of your judgments about them.
Um,
So when you let go, okay, let me give you an example. Okay, sometimes just so the examples work. I will just give you like bombarding you with a lot of information, but it won't be like that rushed. It'll be more of more like more interactive than subsequent calls. So I'll just give you an example. Long back, I had to travel to Rome to attend a maestro class. And that's the time my husband was planning to go for his trek with his cousins. And what happened then was, he's like, and my daughter was alone here at home. And she was, it's not that she was very young. She was, I think, just about I think 12 or 13-year-old, but not old enough for us to leave her alone at home, right? For 10 days. So we were not sure what to do. And one of us had to stay back. So we were just looking at possibilities. And then he said, no, I have to go for this trek because, I work hard the whole year. And this is one trek once a year that I really would like to go for. And I was like, I can't even shift the dates, but this class also happens once a year and I really need to go for this. And then he just turned around and he said, like, but you've been traveling so often. You've already traveled 4 or 5 times, because we need to travel that time we had to travel for every CF training to renew all our licenses. So I'd already traveled 5, 6 times in that year. And then the master class was the last class to be attended in that year. So he's like, you've already been traveling so much. So, I think you need to tone down a bit. And then I was like, but you travel every month. He has a traveling job, right? So he travels 2, 3 times a month. I was like, you travel all the time. So he's like, but that's my job. So I said, when will you realize that this is my job? And he didn't know what to say. And it was like, and now the things are getting a little, it was going in a different wrong direction. It wasn't in a good direction, because it could turn ugly now, because he got really, really angry. And then eventually, so I realized what was going on. So I just lowered my barriers, expanded my being, and I just let go of all my judgments about him. I was definitely getting angry that, he's the one traveling all the time and he's objecting to me traveling, and, as if I'm a nobody and this and that. Like, there were, 1,000 reasons and justifications I was trying to give to myself, and I was getting really angry, but I just let go of that. And I just lowered my barriers and I just kept pulling energy from him. And I was just blank. Okay. And he went on and on saying a lot of things. And then literally 5 to 7 minutes later, he's like, I know how much you love this. And I know I see you working really hard. And I know what it means to you. And it's okay, I'll cancel my trip. And you know what? He just picked up the phone and he messaged his cousins and he said, sorry, I won't be able to join. He literally did that. And I was like, oh my God, it was really this easy. And then when he was leaving on his flight, he looked at his trekking bag, which was already packed. He looked at it and he's like, no point. Also, I don't think I should carry it with me because I won't get to, go for this trip. I said, you know what? Just carry it with you. Because at that moment, for that Mysore trip, I'd not even created enough money for that class. Okay. So I didn't want a situation where I don't get to go because I haven't created the money and then he also misses out on his trip. So I just told him, you know what? Why don't you just take your bag with you and you never know what might show up. And so he took his bag and guess what happened? His mom heard about this and she's like, don't worry, I'll come to Bombay and you go on your trip and let Smriti go on her trip. And that's how it happened. Okay, so she literally came all the way to Bombay to be with my daughter. And then we both managed to I managed to create the money for the class and he definitely went for that. So it's about not making yourself less, not losing yourself and choosing you, but also dropping your judgments about somebody else so that they don't get to, just keep on, they're literally responding to the judgments that they think you have about them. So that's what starts changing and shifting things. Okay.
Thank you
So,
very much. Thank
you're
you very
welcome.
much.
Yes, Hetal, you had a question?
Yeah, Smriti, hi. So, my question, okay, so now, I am into the business of stock market. Okay, so where there is no other person, okay, the numbers are not judging me. So how does this work here in stock market? So, I mean, there are days, okay, where I make good profit. There are days, okay, where I have to take the stop loss. There are days where I don't take the stop loss and make a good amount of loss also. So what is it, okay, where do I need to change? What exactly can I do here?
Okay, definitely your mindset, first of all. So like what Albert Einstein says, right? Like no problem can be solved with the same level of consciousness that created it. So we start looking at the logical reasoning mind and trying to figure out, okay, this is the only way, like especially if you've been plateauing your business constantly and wondering why things are not changing, it's because you're choosing the same thing again and again with the same level of consciousness, right? So that needs to change. So in this particular call, we can let's say, for example, in the fast track your business, there'll be a lot of questions that we'll be asking. What exactly? So what do you do when you're selecting a particular stock or a share to invest in a particular share? What is your thought process? What do you think? Are you giving it a job to do? Are you putting all your eggs in one basket and just thinking that, okay, now this one has amazing potential, so this is the one which has to deliver no matter what. So when you're putting a lot of pressure on that particular stock, this is just energetic pressure that it has to deliver, then and then it'll start it will not deliver, right? Because
I get this.
that pressure will it'll just not deliver to you. So that these are the little things. So how you have to be mindful about little things, little nuances.
So
There's a lot.
very similar to the energies, okay, like if everybody, okay, is banking on me to do a job, I'm not going to like it in the same way that's going to respond to me.
Exactly.
Wonderful,
Exactly.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Smriti.
Of course, and there's lots that I'm just like, there's so many awarenesses.
I do remember from the last fast track your business. Okay, so I have been applying tools from there. Initially, it was very roller coaster ride. Okay, now after being into it, after in 2 years, okay, now it is kind of settling. Okay, initially it was very volatile. I was very new to it, and but now I am also speaking with them. I'm also speaking with the chart, and things are turning out better now. Yeah.
Awesome. How does it get any better than this? Yeah, you were part of one of the fast tracks, the second one.
Yes. And in fact, okay, the stock market thing is a gift from that fast track of business only. Okay. So I was asking for a multiple revenue stream, and this is also another one of the revenue stream that I created. Yeah.
You created quite a few revenue streams from that
Many
market.
years. Yeah. It was massage of 5 continents, selling this oils and all, and nail artists, and so many different things. Yes.
Yeah. How does it get any better? Thank you. And you can join again.
Yeah.
If you like. So yeah, so these are the things. So basically it's like Also, when I'm talking about mindset, it's also a level of consciousness which sort of we apply, which enable us to sort of grow our business or not grow our business or whatever it is. Like I just gave you that example of, like no problem can be solved with that same level of consciousness that's creating it. So it's like, it's more about, especially if you're plateauing with your business and you're wondering what's going on, that's what's going to change. Okay, now there's something known as to-me consciousness. Okay, this is literally the victim mode. Like if you're honest with ourselves, all of us, most of us have spent spent some time in that to-me consciousness. Okay, it's like, and it's something that we can always, most of the time, easily fall back into when things are not going the way we want it to go. Okay, so it's the easiest thing to blame somebody else or something else for the lack of our results. Okay, so like for example, we can say, I would grow my business, but if it wasn't for the fact that my family needed me more, like my family needs me more right now, otherwise I would have really grown my business. Or my sales flopped because people aren't buying during Christmas time, or um, like I would invest in my growth, but first I need to wait to get more sales. Or a lot of people say like, I would love to attend these classes, but I don't have the money to do that. It's just a question of making a choice and making it happen. That's it. Though if you're looking at how you will create something or how you will choose something, that's always going to keep you stuck, because now you're functioning from a presumptive reality or a conclusion that I would love to have this, but I can't. So that's more from a space of a victim mode where it's like like this is what is not allowing you to create things. Okay, like a lot of people will be like, I cannot be as successful and fulfilled because I was born in the wrong country. Okay, to the wrong parents at the wrong time, and a lot of times that will be like, you don't understand, right? So this is the thing. It's like, I'll give you an example, which is so interesting, not really related to this, but when to the wrong parents, it just reminded me of my daughter. The other day we were coming back home from some work, and she wanted to have Subway, and she'd been having Subway sandwiches every single day for that entire week. So I was like, okay, you need to let go of this and not have Subway, and please eat home food, home cooked food. And she's like, gosh. And then she's just wondering out loud, she's like, first you bring me into this world, and then I have to study, and then you don't even let me eat Subway. And I was like looking at her, I was driving the car and I was like looking at her, like, what is she even saying? So sometimes it's like that. So, when you are not creating certain things, where are you giving excuses like, oh my God, I think I'm born in the wrong country, wrong time, people will not understand. That's what happens. Okay. So now, when we are in to-me consciousness, okay, we literally let life happen to us and we are reacting to its happenings. So we let our circumstances dictate what we can do and what we can't do. Okay, so what that does is it makes you feel really, really limited, and it's like we feel like things are not in our control and we won't be able to succeed. So these are the little things. Okay, now. So it's more like you're living your life through the eyes of a victim. And that does not really create anything. If you're really looking at choosing more, okay, that's what will allow you to create more. Okay. Now, what else? The second one is also, if you're getting too much into your victim mode, like, aren't you tired of telling yourself those stories? Aren't you tired of just living in that same rut day after day after day? Is that even working for you? And if it's not something like, basically it's somewhere it's you who's allowed it to happen to you, right? So be present with it and ask, okay, this shit changes now, and whatever it takes, universe, I'm going to be it, do it, and create it, and I'm changing this whatever mess that I've created. Okay. Now, the other one is by me consciousness. Now, that is where we take an absolute control of our results, and we become like a make it happen person. So we no longer wait and hope and pray and blame, and we literally make shit happen. Okay, like whatever, like we create amazing stuff. And that's where most of the entire sort of personal development courses are based on, like set challenging goals, cultivate your determination, and never give up, and you can do it. This is also a level of consciousness which majorly most of the high achievers in business actually live in or reside in. Okay, uh, of course, these people are definitely willing to roll up their sleeves and make it happen, but and they get rewarded for it. But there are times when you're not rewarded, and it's very easy to fall back into the to me consciousness. Okay, and that at times is not really a fun energy. It can really be very exhausting. You can't be like in a totally charged up environment all the time, constantly, right? So it has its pitfalls, and it's very easy for you to go back to your comfort zone and then go back to that to me consciousness. Okay. And somewhere it's like, if I work hard enough, if I work long enough, but at times it can be very, very, very exhausting. And that's not a fun energy. The third one is through me consciousness. Okay. Now that is where it's like a state of flow. Okay. Um, where we are absolutely in complete harmony of whatever it is that we're choosing, and positive things are happening to us, and people show up at the right time at right place, and literally they will call us before we can even pick up the phone to call them. They would call us, or you'll end up like there'll be pathways opening up before you can even think of something. There are pathways opening up, you'll start getting opportunities and all. And a lot of us have found ourselves in that flow and in that situation a lot of times, and we do love it when it happens. Okay, but and also look at, okay, what if this was your default way of filtering your reality? Like, this is a reality that you can actually create for yourself. It's a choice again that you have to make, that whatever it takes, I'm choosing to have ease. Like when you do the BDD class, they talk about asking for having a lot of ease and relaxation in your business. This is how you'll start getting that. Okay, so you invite that. Now, sometimes if things do not work in any way, we go back to that other, you go back to that by me consciousness, and then we keep pushing away until the next lucky break. So sometimes it still has its pitfalls. Now, the way to be is as me consciousness, which is the fourth one and the last one, which is where it's like another level of consciousness, and it's even more powerful than the through me consciousness of living and running your business. This is where you are, you just lean into this level of perceiving your reality, where you're no longer making things happen, you're no longer co-creating with the universe, because you know that every fiber of your being is where you're being the universe. So it's not like a co-creation, you are just being that energy. Like in Access, we say a lot of times, like, start being that energy that you're looking to create. And that's what starts opening up more possibilities and things. Because in your being, like, let's say, for example, Shannon, she's a talk to the entity. She's the one who created Talk to the Entity. When she walks into a room, she's already a walking, talking entity clearing. Like, she's just clearing away spaces just by her mere presence. Can you be that energy? Like, when whatever it is that you're looking to receive, let's take, for example, money. Like Gary Douglas always says, be money, be the energy of money. And once you're willing to be that energy, you're automatically just attracting everything in your space. Things just start to keep showing up, and you just start actualizing things. And that's the energy that you have to start functioning from, or creating from, and being. Right? And that's when things start showing up. Now, also, it's like, when you're creating your business, a lot of space of perceiving knowing and being is what you have to start tapping into and choosing more and things. So we'll be talking about a lot of these things throughout the calls and stuff. And we'll also be doing a lot of clearings. So say the first 45 minutes of this call would be all about discussing and um, creating all those home plays and things and stuff. And the last 10 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes will be loaded with a lot of clearings or whatever's shown up, the clearings that have shown up during the call, or depending on your questions and stuff, and all the other clearings that we have to offer. We'll be working a lot on creation of money, on setting all the business systems in place. What are the creator, connector, mover energies your business requires? There's a whole lot of things which are part of. You can go through the website and you can see what all it's listed, what all we'll be covering, and much more beyond that. So, and I will not be doing clearings on this call, or I'm just so tempted to, but let's leave that for this call. And because I would like to explain why we are doing clearings and stuff, so that will be for the next call. Anything else anyone else wants to know? Any questions does anyone else have?
Yeah, Simriti, just now you said about if the children are putting projection on us, it means we have some judgment that they can take that vibration and they project it on us,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yeah. So somewhere you are making yourself less, and you are not thinking very highly of yourself, or somewhere you are not valuing yourself. That's the projection that you're putting out. The kids can perceive that, and they feel it's okay to treat you like this. Because how much are you busy treating yourself like this? If you're constantly sidelining yourself, if you're not choosing to value yourself, your clients or your business associates or people, friends, plus your kids and family members, they'll just take you for granted and walk all over you because you're choosing to walk all over yourself.
So, I mean to say, yeah, so we become like a victim mode and we get contracted at times. I mean,
Yes.
by people judging, that judgment is already implanted in our mind. So for that, it is, I mean, the question we have to ask is interesting point of view. I have this point of view.
No, yeah, you can ask that. You can ask that, but you can also say, what do I have to be and do to outcreate this? What am I being here? Universe, what are the different possibilities around this? How does it get any better than this? And all the what else? All the conclusions, decisions. So hold on. So all the projections, expectations, separations, rejections, and judgments that they have about you, will you not destroy and uncreate that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, what, for, all about 100 shots, boys, poets, races, creations, and beyonds. Universe, show me the magic of me. Universe, show me the value of me. What am I unwilling to be here? That if I was willing to be, it would open up a whole new world of possibilities for me. Ask these questions, followed by the clearing statement. Just go ahead and clear things from your space, right? And then, most importantly, the moment you start choosing you is when everybody else will start choosing you too.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you for this gift because today is my born day.
Your born day. So it's your birthday today?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
happy
you.
birthday, Usha.
Happy
Thank you. Thank
birthday.
you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday. So cool. So today is the day to be actually choose to just change everything that's not been working for you and to choose a far greater version of you. Cool. Anyone else have any questions? All right. So we stop here right now. And Monday, I'll see most of you, whoever's looking at joining, and some of the people who signed up are already part of this call. And so this was more of a call where I was just giving you information about the level of which we'll be creating and changes. But the second call onwards, it'll be more interactive. It'll be more dress to what exactly is going on for you per se as a person and in your business, where are you stuck and things. And I'll be sending you guys a mail, all those people who have joined. I'll be sending you a mail and seeing what are your business challenges, what are the energies that you're stuck with. There are about 10 questions that you have to respond to, and every week you have to, before the call. So let's take, for example, Mondays are call. By Friday evening, I require the whole feedback for the whole week. And what is it? What are the challenges that showed up that entire week? What were the places where you were still stuck, that you're still stuck with, and what you need to change? Because as we progress through the calls, there'll be a lot of things that will be shifting and changing for you. So if you think you're done with one challenge, there'll be suddenly new challenges coming up. So to be able to guide you through that and see, okay, cool, because now what you're doing is also peeling off layers and layers of stuff that you've been stuck with. So there are new challenges, new things. So that space of total nurturing where everyone has your back, and no matter what, the only choice is to go ahead and create a greater version of you, a greater life for you, and a greater business for you. So that's what I'm inviting you to. And I would really love to have you be a part of this. And thank you so much. And just go through the website. There is a lot of information on it, and also the different types of payment plans. And you can just connect with me if you have any questions. Okay.
Smile, please.
And I'll see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's what? Yeah, tomorrow for the BU call at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so grateful for each one of you.
Thank you, Smriti.
You're welcome.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so very
Bye-bye.
much.